Here's all about AP Physics rotational motion. 3, 2, 1, go. An important fundamental concept of this unit is radians. A radian is the angle created when the arc length is equal to the radius. There are 2 pi radians in a complete circle. Many important variables from past units have angular equivalents. For example, the equivalents to tangential displacement, velocity, and acceleration are angular displacement, velocity, and acceleration.
You know, that looks like it's a weird squiggly thing. Can you describe weird squiggly thing better?
No. Time isn't technically replaceable. You'll most commonly be using the period when talking about time. The equivalent to force is torque, and the equivalent to mass is moment of inertia. For kinematic variables, dividing the tangential variable by the radius will give you the angular variable. You can plug these new variables into equations you already know to find new angular variables. Oh, and here's some stuff about centripetal acceleration that you don't need to know. V of t equals r times omega.
That's a...
We gotta watch it now.
You wear the mustache? Yeah.
That's not omega.
I don't know what it is.
It's just a weird, kind of a squiggly, it's like a W but stretched out. No,
This is a W?
pretty much, but it's like, Jesus Christ. You certainly tried. Can you just redraw it so I can get it like out to the right? No. I didn't mean the whole thing, just the line.
Oh my god.
The right hand rule helps you find the direction of angular vectors. Using your right hand,
You know which hand is your right because your left hand makes an L and your right hand makes a R.
if you curl your fingers either clockwise or counterclockwise, the way your thumb is pointing will tell you the direction of the vector. It's also important to note that counterclockwise motion will function as positive and clockwise motion will function as negative. Does it seem counterintuitive? Yes. But does College Board care? No. Torque, which is our angular equivalent to force, is equal to the force perpendicular to the line of action times the distance from the axis, or F times R. Remember, the force has to be perpendicular, so for forces applied at an angle, we use Fr sine theta. An object is at static equilibrium when it has equal torques on both sides, which allows you to balance it at its center, like so. Like so. Like so. Like so. Like so.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Like so. No, no, no! Yes, I finally did it! Inertia, our angular equivalent to mass, is an object's resistance to changes in its rotation. Inertia is equal to mass times radius squared. However, 2 objects with the same mass may have different moments of inertia because the distribution of mass also affects your calculations. How exactly? I'll let you figure that out. Better hope the exam tells you. And now, a PSA about AP Physics as a whole.
Some important rules for physics are: Mr. A is always right. Do the video notes. Mr. A is never wrong. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't argue with Mr. A. And get off your phone! I present to you the duality of man.